What is up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Thank you as always for tuning in. I don't really know what direction this video is going to go in because I am way too excited about a special package that just showed up. Let me show you. All right, if you know anything about anything, you know what that means. We got a seat. This is a Bride Zeta 4 Cusco edition, and it is so cool. I got to show you this too because I'm such a nerd about this kind of stuff. All the paperwork, stickers, obviously the certificate of something. I don't know, I can't read Japanese. I am way too excited. I own an old Bride Zeta. I think it's Zeta 1 or Zeta 2. One of the cool old ones. But forever, I have wanted to be able to purchase one brand new, and it's always just been kind of a dream until now, and I am so excited. Let's get this thing thrown in the car and see how it looks. Before I tossed it in the car, I had to show you guys the glitter back, or whatever they call this. It's so cool. And then the stickers, of course. Okay, so before I threw the seat in, I got a little sidetracked. One of my favorite things to kind of like find and investigate is free weight reduction, meaning weight I can take out of a car that you won't notice at all. In this case, it was the OEM sub. Now, I guess you can debate and say, well, you will notice that, right? It's a sub, but I'm not really big into like heavy bass or anything. That was the sound deadening that was behind this. Not really gonna do much, it's just a thick little mat. Let me show you what the car looks like with that removed. And this is what we're dealing with here. So now we've got a big open space. I can get to the fuel pump if I ever have to. I'm gonna zip tie these out of the way. This was for the sub. And then there is a big panel that covers this, so you'll never see it. All right, we got the seat in. I just wanted to show you how much headroom is in this thing now. I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'3". So to have this much headroom here, really happy about that. Because if I put a helmet on, I still have tons of room. I can move my head around. I'm not gonna hit this or the roof or anything. Super comfy. I am so excited about this. But that's enough of me talking. Let me get you some sick B-roll so you can see how good this looks. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that little montage there. I tried to film it with a fancy DSLR camera and get some really cool shots, but I really have no idea what I'm doing, and the camera kept stopping the recording. It would get like 2 or 3 seconds in and then just automatically stop. So like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've got a bit to learn when it comes to like actual fancy cameras, but if you know anything about that, drop it in the comments. I have no idea what I'm doing, but that'll come someday. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the little montage. I am so stoked on this seat. Like I had mentioned a while ago, it's been a dream of mine to be able to afford a brand new Bride. And it was so cool opening that box and seeing my own brand new seat. And now I'm sitting in it, just enjoying it. So anyways, I don't know what we're gonna get into next, but let's do something productive instead of just staring at this beautiful seat. And we're back for another day of working on the Z. I've got a game plan other than just staring at that beautiful seat, even though that's all I want to do. But the big thing I want to get done today is get a front end on this car, which means getting this on. It is cracked down here at the bottom, and I don't know, I don't know if I have the hardware for it, so we're gonna find out. Well, the core support went on relatively easy. I'm kind of surprised because if you remember, the passenger side here was the one that was in a wreck. This front frame rail is just a little tweaked, and surprisingly, the bolt holes up here lined up just fine. And 2 of the 4 bolt holes here lined up. Now the issue I have is there is a crack here and a crack here. So with that, this corner is kind of weak, and these 2 lower holes are the ones that don't line up. You can see these top 2 do, but these don't. And if I had a bolt in here, it would make this loose piece a lot more strong. So I'm gonna figure out what I can do. Maybe I can just drill a hole through here, because like the bolt holes on the frame rail are shifted over here because the frame rail is kind of tweaked that way. So I'm gonna see what I can do so I can just get some structure in here, just because the radiator sits in this little shelf here, and I would hate to like lose this one day and have my radiator fall out of the car. Well, I just made a huge mess. I didn't realize the power steering cooler lines run through the radiator support, and I had already filled the reservoir with fluid because when I started it, I didn't want the power steering pump to be totally dry. So I just had to disconnect the lines from the cooler, run them through the radiator support right here. And thankfully I caught most of it in the bucket. I made a little bit of a mess, and I definitely got power steering fluid like on the frame rail and stuff, but not that bad. Let me show you what I'm gonna do with where it mounts. So where it mounts is actually where it's cracked. You can kind of see it there. Sorry, this is a bad angle. So you can kind of see it there. Those 2 silver bolt holes right here. And it's cracked right in the middle. There you go, now you can see it better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reinforce this with a metal plate right across. That should tie these 2 together and make it a bit more strong. And then I'll bolt the power steering cooler on the outside of that. All right, little update on the progress here. I got the radiator in, which is cool. I got the hoses hooked up. I don't have the mounts for the top here, so we're using zip ties, just temporary. I've got the mounts on order, and one of the lower mounts for the radiator is actually broken. Funny enough, it's on the far side, the side that's not crashed. Not really sure how that happened because the side that was crashed is totally fine. So whatever, I was planning on getting a better radiator down the road. So this will work for now, but at least it's in. I'm gonna put some water in it, and then we'll see if we can get this thing started and maybe run for a little bit longer than the 10 seconds it ran in the last video. All right, let me show you what I did with the power steering cooler. So it's mounted, and if you look behind it, this metal plate is what I was talking about. So the crack through the core support runs from here up to there. You can kind of see it just up there, and then it runs down to there. So with the metal plate here, I mean, it is only 2 little 10 mils, but it's definitely adds some structure. This thing is a lot more sturdy than it was between adding this bolt down here and now that plate. Just from wiggling it, you really can't even tell it's cracked, so should work. All right, we got some water in the radiator. I'm gonna start this thing up, let it run for a little while, and see if we have any catastrophic failures. Fingers crossed we don't. So the car's been running for a little while now, and it's getting up to temperature. I don't see any leaks. Nothing seems too out of place, but it sounds like maybe it's missing a cylinder or just misfiring a little bit. It's probably like an coil pack or something, but you can hear it in the idle. How it's not like a smooth, consistent tone. It's like whoa, 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 as if it was cammed. That kind of makes me think there's something going on. Like I said, either a misfire or coil pack's down, so it's running on 5 cylinders instead of 6. I'm not sure. There's definitely some troubleshooting I have to do, but just the fact that this thing's been running for, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, it's quiet, it sounds smooth other than what I mentioned. I'm pretty happy. So big progress. Little things to figure out, but we're getting somewhere. So after watching back the clip of it revving, you can definitely tell that it's not running on all 6 cylinders. It sounds like 5 or maybe even 4, but I think 5. And I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be a coil pack. They're notorious for going bad on these things. And this came with a box of coil packs. I think it came with 12. So I just kind of picked the ones that looked the cleanest and hope they were okay. So I will have to go through and test them all, basically just unplug them, see if it runs any different, plug them back in and go from there. It's the easiest way to troubleshoot it. Thankfully I have a ton of extra ones. So hopefully that's all it is. Or it could also be some of the wiring to the coil packs or to the fuel injectors, anything like that. A lot of the wires on this car were a little crispy, so could be a little connection. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to dive into that tonight and go through all the troubleshooting process. So we're gonna call that a wrap, at least on getting this thing like running a bit better. There is one more project I do want to tackle though. It's all in the little things. Check out this new Coolant Overflow. This is from Chase Bays. Looks great. I've actually had this thing for probably 10 years in my closet, and now I finally have something to put it on. Okay, so the cool little catch can wasn't the project I actually wanted to do before wrapping up tonight. It's these headlights. As you can see, these things look terrible, especially that one. But really, there's no broken tabs. Everything's intact. They're just really faded. This one is a lot more faded than the other. So I'm gonna see if I can save them. Worst case, I can't, and no harm, no foul on that one. But I think I can get them looking at least a little better than they currently are. So let's try. Okay, I am really surprised. This was the bad one. I can't believe how good it came out. It's definitely not perfect, but considering how bad it was, it looks great. I haven't done this one yet. That one really wasn't bad to begin with. You can kind of see some discoloration there, but considering this one was super bad, looks pretty good. There's some dirt on the inside, like in that black part there. I don't really know how you'd clean that out, but whatever. For what it is, and considering it took me 15 minutes to clean it up, I'm pretty happy with the results. All right, well, I'm pretty happy with the way that headlight turned out. I'll do the other one off camera. I just don't have the time right now. Also, I think I figured out how to use my nicer camera. So I'm gonna test that out real quick. Let me know what you guys think of the B-roll. I'm gonna end the video with that. So drop a comment, let me know what you think. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.